Instagram stories for Tuesday, February 18th. I'm your host, Daniel Hill. Today on the show, we're going to get into a little bit of Facebook news when it comes to video storage. We're also going to hear from the YouTube team with some of the updates that they've been working on when it comes to YouTube Shorts and how text-to-speech is handled. And then we'll have the head of Instagram sharing the questions and answers from his recent Ask Me Anything. All of that and more on today's episode, but first, here's a quick word from our sponsor. Welcome back. Let's get into today's news, and we're going to start with Facebook. Typically on this show, I don't cover Facebook news, but I think in this specific instance, it's important because I believe this is going to be indicative, potentially, of where Instagram is going, so I want to highlight this news. On a blog post at about.fb.com, which of course I will link to in the show notes, the title, Updating Our Facebook Live Video Storage Policy. Beginning February 19th, new live Facebook broadcasts can be replayed, downloaded, or shared from Facebook pages or profiles for 30 days, after which they will automatically be removed from Facebook. Live videos older than 30 days will be removed from Facebook. Before your archival live videos are deleted, you will be notified by email and in the app, and from then you'll have 90 days to download or transfer your content. Facebook highlights that they are launching new tools to make downloading your previous live videos easier. Let's just take a step back and talk about what this would mean if Instagram operated the same way. You may have a library of live videos from past times you've gone live with other people or by yourself, and maybe you haven't really thought about those live videos as being something you want to download and save because they're always online. But that might not always be the case. This could potentially be a good time to go back, look at the live videos that you've made over the past couple of years or even longer, and then determine, do you want to save them? Are they archived somewhere? And if not, take steps in order to do that. On the other hand, you might go back and look at those live videos that you created and think that they are not really worth saving, in which case that's totally fine and don't spend any more time thinking about it. But I'm highlighting this change on Facebook as something that could potentially happen on Instagram in the near future. Next, let's move on to some YouTube news. And here is the Creator Insider team at YouTube with some updates.
What's up, Insiders? We're back with more updates because if it's Tuesday, let's get into it. Last year, we announced the new Shorts feature called Text-to-Speech, with the goal of giving creators more ways to express themselves on Android. We're happy to announce that this is now available on iOS as well. With text-to-speech, creators can add text, have it narrated or spoken out loud in the short, and choose the start and end point of the visual text. There are 4 voices creators can choose from when picking a narration. We'll leave more info on how to use text-to-speech below, so check it out. Moving on, we're updating profile cards on Studio Mobile to give them the same look and feel as other updates across the app. Functionality remains the same, and we're rolling this out to all creators this week, so let us know what you think of the modernized look. And that's it for this week. From the creators of YouTube to YouTube creators, we'll see you next week.
2 comments on this. Number 1, I love seeing parity on features between iOS and Android. If you've ever experienced where one of those platforms can do something but the other cannot, it's very frustrating. And second, it's nice to see YouTube Shorts having parity between features that TikTok and Instagram have and have had for a really long time. Love to see it. We are going to take a quick break. When we come back, the head of Instagram is going to answer a bunch of questions, including how photographers should feel about using the platform, since it seems like everyone is focused on video and that's a bad experience for photographers. Stay tuned. Let's get into the questions that the head of Instagram answered on his Ask Me Anything. The first one, have you shadow banned static and carousel content? Is Instagram moving to a video first experience? It is clear that this person is frustrated with how they are handling photo content on Instagram.
We do not downrank photos and carousels. Some people find that photos and carousels do better than Reels, but most people don't. And that's because Reels tend to be more engaging. Moving video, audio is just more engaging. So what we try to do is help people tell stories with photos and carousels that are engaging by adding things like music and other creative tools. Because we know that photos are a core part of our history and they will continue to be a core part of our experience going forward.
Let's continue with the questions. When will I be able to reorder my grid? This is something that I think Instagram does need, but I don't think it's really a priority for them.
So right now you can pin up to 3 posts to the top of your profile, but we're looking into different ways you might be able to reorder it. Hopefully going to launch that later this year.
Nice to see that that has a little bit higher priority than I originally thought. Next question. Do scheduling tools affect reach? Sometimes it feels like scheduling tools do because you have worked so hard on a piece of content that you are positive will perform well, and you schedule it for an ideal time and then it still does not do well. And you want to blame the scheduling tool. I personally have thought this many times.
No, if you schedule a post, whether it's a reel or a photo, it will not get a different amount of distribution than if you had just posted it directly at that time.
Next question. Any chance Instagram carousels will ever be editable after publishing? Well, that's an interesting one because in some aspects you can do that today. You can edit the caption on any post after you make it, and you can delete photos from a carousel after you've posted them. So say you posted a picture of a bunch of things that you did over the summer, and maybe you were with one specific person, now you're no longer friends with them anymore or in a relationship with them, and you want to take their photo out of the carousel. You can do that. Here's the head of Instagram explaining more.
So you can actually remove a post from a carousel retroactively after you post the carousel. You cannot yet reorder the carousel. That is something that we are looking into. Haven't prioritized it, but it's definitely a good thing to do at some point.
The next question is in reference to the upcoming video editing app that Instagram will be releasing called Edits. The question, I know Edits is coming, but what about better video editing tools within Instagram? Here's Adam's answer.
Absolutely. We want to make sure that there are the best possible creative tools for making not only reels, but photos both in the Instagram app and then for video in the Edits app. They're built on the same code base, and you're going to see probably new features be tried first in the Edits app over time, and the ones that work will probably integrate into the main app.
I personally am not that excited about Edits because I do not like to edit complicated videos on my phone, and I would much rather do it on my computer using my very large monitor. But some people do like to edit things on their phone, and I understand the need to do that quickly. Having said that, CapCut charges for every single feature in the app that used to be free. At least that's what it feels like. So to have an alternative to that, I'm all for it. The next question has to do with hashtags. The question, are hashtags still useful for Instagram? Keep in mind that Adam is giving this answer for all people on Instagram, meaning whether you have 5 million followers or 500 followers. Here's his answer.
Hashtags are a great way to help tell your story, but they're not going to significantly increase your reach. So if you think that they're a secret button to get more reach, you're just going to be disappointed. So use them if it's helpful for you to describe what you're describing and connect to related content, not as an engagement hack.
When it comes to hashtags, I think about my own usage of them and when the last time I searched for something using a hashtag was. And I would say conservatively that it's been at least 5 years, maybe longer. So if you don't use hashtags to search for content anymore, do you really think that other people are doing that? It's possible, but it feels unlikely. The next question has to do with the Instagram algorithm. If you feel like things have changed recently and have changed significantly, Adam actually addresses that in this question. The question, are content measurement and scoring algorithms changing rapidly? Here's Adam's answer.
We are constantly trying to work to improve our ranking algorithms, trying to help connect people with the content that matters to them most. It doesn't actually usually change in a drastic way, though. It changes consistently and methodically over time, relatively slowly over the short run, but more and more significantly over the long run.
So the key takeaway there is small, gradual changes over time, not major shifts. It's not like, oh, January 1st, we changed this giant thing. That's not how they do it. That is going to do it for today's episode. As always, thank you for listening, and be sure to come back next time for more social media news, strategy, and other things that you need to know.
Let me tell you a couple things that you should know about me. A product manager, but do not have a bachelor's degree. But actually, that's factually a fraction of me. Another fraction's posting content irregular and irrationally. Still probably won't get a job at the Gram. They forgot, they don't know, or don't care who I am. That's why you never see me at the parties and events. My lack of followers must make me irrelevant. Don't have a course, a book to sell to make a bag of grand. Not a social media marketer, don't represent any brands. Plain to see, don't have an agency, but I got a lot of spam. Just putting in my work, without the glitz and glam. Won't catch me eating fish, unless it's shrimp or clam. No six pack, no risk that, there's a gym card in my hand. Don't have a full-time job, but I got a lot of plans. Stay plotting, dropping knowledge on TikTok and Instagram.